Oh shit. Hold up. Am I good? Is my voice going? Let me see. 1, 2, mic check. Oh yeah. Damn. I've been trying to go live for a minute, man. I've been trying to go live for a minute. What's good? What's good? I gotta be honest, man. I really don't think that I'm a pre-recorded type of guy. The reason why I've been wanting to go live for a good little minute, because I'm really more interested in a dialogue. Oh, pardon me. I don't like monologues that much. That's not really my style. Ever since I've been watching YouTube and like peeping the game and considering being a content creator, my goal has always been to pretty much do live shows, and I wanted to get my subscription count up before I started doing live shows, but my subscription count really hasn't risen that much, and that's probably because my pre-recorded suck. They probably do. I'm not above reproach. You know what I mean? But y'all see my green screen in the back. I'm looking at getting everything real tight and precise so we could blast off and get some of this content. Um they not gonna be able to fuck with us when we get on. For real. They not gonna be able to fuck with us. Shout out to whoever that is rocking with me right now. You know what I'm saying? We up in here, man. So, you see the title, Will Smith proves that open relationships are not beneficial for husbands. Like, it's crazy because, you can sit back at the end of the day, you can listen to what everybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? All the time. And then you have those where the rubber meets the road situations. And when you have those situations, people show their true colors. It's not about what they tell, it's not about virtue signaling anymore. It's not about saying what's politically correct anymore. It's about just who people really are deep down inside, their true colors. The chameleons, you know what I mean, start showing their true colors. And so, you know, a lot in this stratosphere, we talk about open relationships. Can't open relationships work and things of that nature, right? And gentlemen, one of the primary reasons that open relationships don't work for men, one of the primary reasons why open relationships do not work for men is because open relationships leave men open to disrespect. It leaves men open to disrespect. As a man, all you have is respect. That's all you got, your word and your nuts. And you got some guys out there, these false prophets, if you will, who believe that based off anecdotal experience, based off their own personal experience, that this lifestyle is feasible for men in general. Now, when we talk about an open marriage, we are not talking about a man having multiple women. We are talking about women having multiple men. And even if you was a man who decided that you wanted to have multiple women, it would be important that your women had some level of respect. Some of y'all dudes, y'all be having women, but they be disrespectful too. You know what I mean? So if you don't establish respect with women, they gonna run over you as well. But for those few guys that they in an open relationship and things of that nature, they walk around and they strut their feathers and they say, man, the reason why y'all can't be in open relationships is because of whoopty 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 woo. All right. Something I tell y'all all the time. I've been married for 11 years. I'm 33. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't never had I all hey man, I love women. Women love me. My exes want to come back. They call me crying way before now. You know what I'm saying? Women have always loved me. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had a problem with no woman, right? At the same time, I can't come on here and act like I'm a marriage expert. I know people that's been married 20 some odd years. Look at what just happened with Anthony Anderson. Married 20 some odd years. He's going through a divorce. See, gentlemen, one of the things that we have to realize, and this is one of the things that Coach Greg Adams talks about a lot. Shout out to the Coach Gang. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. One of the things that Coach Greg Adams talks about a lot is the long game. See, when we talk about emotions, okay, we are talking about something that is short term, the motion in the ocean. We're talking about right now. We're not talking about 15, 20 years down the line. When somebody wants you to impulse buy, they don't want you to impulse buy for thinking about the future. That's not how impulse buying works. They want you to impulse buy based off what you see right now, right? And so it's one thing if you buying a candy bar, it's something completely different if you're talking about marriage, you're talking about long-term relationships, you're talking about building a life with a woman. So now we look at this situation with Will Smith, and it's like, damn, man, Will is like Samson. Will is like Samson. You know the worst thing about August Alsina? The worst thing about August Alsina is he was running his mouth. I heard him say he slept with Jada Pinkett way before people even said it. I was like, why did they choose to make this a big deal right now? I thought this was old news, right? I thought this was old news. I thought this was public knowledge already. But he had to start running his mouth. Now, in the long term, we see the lack of respect that Will Smith is getting from the public. See, when we deal with life, gentlemen, we have to understand that life is three-dimensional. We have to understand that when we talk about certain situations, we cannot think about it in a singular way. When you talk about the respect that a man has, you're not just talking about the respect between him and his wife. You're talking about the respect from any person that decides to lay down with your wife. Your wife can respect you. She could be like, yeah, this is just sex. You understand? It's nothing more than that. And the dude, any woman that'll open her legs up for men is susceptible to whatever that man is putting inside of her. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, she's open. Right? So once you open yourself up to multiple men, it's no telling what this guy is going to do after. You see? How long was she sleeping with August Alsina before he decided to break the code of silence? That was disrespectful to Will Smith. Well, you think he cared about Will Smith? Already been smashing your wife. Already been in the house eating your groceries. I don't care about you, nigga. See, how long have Will and Jada been in an open relationship. And guess what? It was working for a while, I guess. But when the shit hit the fan, when it's all bad, it's all bad. So you're not just dealing with respect from your wife. You dealing with the respect. You talk reputation. When you talk about a reputation, you are talking about your public persona at this point. You're not just talking about your private life. When people find out what you do in your private life, it's no longer private anymore. So when you talk about respect, there's certain things that you can't even control when you allow your woman to be in an open relationship. And you as a man got to be extremely careful if you want to be out here dealing with women as well. So it's not just like, oh, as long as my wife respect me. Other men not going to respect you. They're going to be looking at your wife and looking straight through you, right? So we see all these shenanigans, all of this goddamn talk about, can people be in open relationships? Pardon me. Yes, you can, but let Will Smith be a cautionary tale because, listen, gentlemen, everybody's telling you to be vulnerable. Every time you turn around, they tell men to be vulnerable, right? I don't even know if I'm spelling this shit right. But every time you turn around, they telling men to be vulnerable. Open up. You don't have a vagina. You know how much you should open up? Look, next time you use the bathroom, look at yourself. You see, that's how much you should open up. Just as much to let the piss come out in the sperm. That's as much as you should open up. Don't open up no more than that. You see, this is Will Smith's biggest downfall, gentlemen. He's too fucking open. You see? Listen, it's like this. You sitting there talking to a woman over and over and over and over. You being open. You telling the world. How you think Samson got his locks cut? You think he got his locks cut by being guarded? I did a whole video about this because Fresh and Fit, they was up there with those dudes. What's those dudes? Idiot something. They hang out with Charlemagne, Andrew Schultz or something like that. And they was like, I can't go into a relationship not trusting my girl. And what kind of relationship am I going to have? Listen, man, you always need to be aware of the fact that your woman is the weaker vessel and her ass can easily be over there listening to snakes getting ready to eat an apple. If you knew what was in your best interest, you would treat your woman like the weaker vessel. And that don't got nothing to do with not trusting her. Everybody want to talk about female nature, but they want to talk about it like you just supposed to let the woman be in her nature. None of us can just be in our nature. You see? So at the end of the day, you don't need to be telling your girl everything. You don't need to be divulging everything to your girl. Most of the dynasty, most of the kingdoms that fell, they fell because for one, a dude slept with a woman and she was the devil. She was the enemy. For two, because he was being too goddamn open. So at the end of the day, gentlemen, what I'm basically telling you is that you need to understand that, when it comes to you as a man dealing with women and being vulnerable, This is all a myth. When you start listening to women, you get yourself in a whole lot of trouble. We keep telling you, stop listening to women, stop listening to women. You see, and Will Smith is an example, right? And you get these guys out here, they think they saying some slick shit. They think they saying something slick because they telling you, I'm an alpha male because I got a wife, a girlfriend, and two soon to be girlfriends. They just feminine males, bro. That's not masculine. You know what I'm saying? That's not the definition of masculinity. So pretty much what I'm saying is that on the back end, it's never the front end. On the back end, you got to look at it and see what's going on with Will Smith. He's Samson. He was vulnerable. He let Delilah know, my strength is my locks. Why would you let a woman know what your strength is? Why would you let her know that? That's just like if you selling drugs and somebody keeps saying, I want to know who the connect is. I want to know who the connect is. Why you think they want to know who the connect is? So they can get you out the way. Once they get you out the way, you done. Because they don't need you anymore. But see, y'all believe in love and shit. Y'all don't believe in respect. A woman that respects you, that fears you, that's a great relationship. A woman that um is telling you to open up and she think you listening to her and you trying to be everything, she need to live up to your standards. Look at how little Jada Pinkett is, and she breaking this man down, you know? But when we talk about breaking a man down, we not just talking about breaking them down like right what we seeing right now. We also talking about breaking down a man's morals and standards. Because what's been out there, what's been going on, I had my cousin on a live stream today, but it went haywire. Things went crazy. But my cousin, shout out to the truth seeker, was connecting the dots between Pfizer, alopecia, Jada Pinkett, and Pfizer is in the steps of finalizing their groundbreaking medicine for alopecia. See? So on one end, we look at it and we say, oh, Will Smith, Will Smith is weak. Look at how Will Smith is acting, right? But we are also not considering that when a man, like, it could all just be an act. When you look at everything that's going on, it could be an act. I seen something today talking about Will Smith receiving an award for about the security guards knowing it was going to be an altercation before it even happened. And so me and Cuz was basically breaking down, understanding the puppet masters, understanding the people that's behind this, right? But a lot of times when you start talking about the people that's behind the situation, the only way that a man can bend over is if a man decide to bend over. Dave Chappelle said, I'm not bending over. I'll walk away from the 50,000. See, if you a bitch, you a bitch. It don't matter if money is on the table, sex. If you will bend your morals and your standards, if you will ruin your name and your legacy to gain anything, then that pretty much makes you a punk. All right. And so either way we slice it, when we look at Will Smith, we got to say, God damn, even if this was fake, why would you show your people in that light? Why would you operate this way in order to not have to deal with the consequences of not operating this way? Right? And so what did Will Smith say? He said, the devil comes for you at your highest moment. He didn't say that was a good thing. He didn't say that was a bad thing. I don't even know if he thanked God for the reward. But I do know he said the devil comes for you at your highest moment. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? The devil comes for you at your highest moment. When I hear that, when I originally heard that, I said, yeah, the devil came for you a long time ago when Jada Pinkett was introduced into your life. You know what I mean? But then when my cousin started breaking down everything that was going on, it still centered around his wife. But now you see, this was his highest moment. This was Will Smith's highest moment. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Byron, Fection, peace, peace. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is Will Smith's highest moment right here, right? When we look at Will Smith is one of 5 black men to receive an Oscars. One of 5. This was supposed to be Will Smith night. This was supposed to be his time to shine, right? But instead of him shining, he got dirt all over his name. Now, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the devil came and pretty much did what he was supposed to do. And so, yeah, man, and all of this, open relationship talk, all of that stuff. Listen, I'm not here to condemn anybody, right? I'm just saying, just like I couldn't tell a man to get married because of how bad marriages are going nowadays, the same way I cannot tell you to follow the devil's plan. This is my first time going live, and I really just want to talk to y'all, man, for real. I really want to talk to y'all because we got to get some shit in order. Bro, I've been in the manosphere for 2 years now, and it's a lot of great content out there, but at the end of the day, man, it's not a lot of people really giving y'all anything of substance, any sustenance, something you can really build on. You know what I mean? Inside the bullshit. But listen, the devil has a plan, right? And for me to ignore that the devil has a plan is would be asinine. It would be stupid, right? We have to understand that we first have to understand that the devil has a plan. Then we got to ask ourselves, what is my plan? What is my plan? And when I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I have to, bro. I have to, man. Like I said, I really think I'm more of a live guy. I'm not really a pre-recorded guy. I tried to pre-record it, but I'd rather just fucking, get on here and build with the brothers and any sisters too that's really on some shit. But the further you stay away from women, the better. You know, how can how can I put this? The further you stay away from women, you got to explain that a little bit more to me because yeah, you got to Byron, you got to explain that a little bit more. The further you stay away from these women, the better. I definitely think, I definitely think that we need segregation again. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely think that we need men only spaces because when you have a situation where men never have an opportunity to be around men and have masculine dialogues, it makes your mind dull. And so you always around women, you always hearing a feminine perspective, and that shit is ever present. So I will say that, I when I first, started doing this, I thought about like, yo, I want to just, do what you said. I got 4 daughters and a wife. It's no way I'm staying away from women, but I'm raising them up. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, when I'm out here in the world, I'd rather build something with fellas. But when you dealing with men, you got to make sure you're not dealing with no bitch ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of men out here that's real, that's feminine. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got to make sure that you're not dealing with none of these fraudulent men as well. But I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. But yeah, man. So when we talk about like uh women do bring a lot of confusion, bro. They do. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. When it come to women bringing confusion, the only way women can bring confusion is when you have blue pill men around. See, that's when women really bring confusion. Like I was over there listening to Jap last week, and one guy called in. He was like, "Man, I was getting this woman together. I was straightening her out. I was telling her whoopty whoopty woo." You know what I'm saying? And then uh some simp ass nigga going to come in and just fuck up my progress. We got to understand that women are lazy. It's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got your outlier women, that's not lazy, but most females are lazy, right? So at the end of the day, um, they are trying to figure out how they can get the most by doing the least. And even though they want to be good human beings, if you could fart in a jar and make $75, y'all niggas would be farting in the jar making $75. You understand what I'm saying? So we really can't be mad at females for farting in a jar instead of being in a relationship. You see, this is where we got to get this is where we have to continue. Like, as a man, why would you buy a fart? You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to start asking about these dudes, right? But but yeah, so like I said, man, a lot of us can make some headway with these women. A lot of us could restore order. But man, look, I just did a whole video about Anjanou Ellis, and she up there at the Breakfast Club. All right. And Charlemagne is up there sniffing women's seats, yo. This is the nigga doing the interview, the seat sniffer. I'm never gonna sniff no seat, man. Come on, are you crazy? So at the end of the day, when you got seat sniffers around, like, and this is why I said I went on Steve the Dean channel last week. Steve the Dean called me a bitch. I was just like, I was just thinking to myself, I was just like, man, I don't understand the internet. I'm not trying to get on the internet and be no tough guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this dude called me a bitch, right? And he was like, the topic that he was speaking about though was the red pill being a cult. And my point to Steve the Dean was the red pill is not a cult, bro. It's a word. Words matter. Communication matters. Right now, if I was to go up on the street and or if I was online and I said red pill, there would be a list of things that come to your mind when I say the red pill, right? So therefore, there's a communication there, right? And there's a compare and contrast. And this is why I think it's necessary to have labels. I grew up around a bunch of pro-blacks, bro. I'm right here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm right here I'm on the West End. You know what I'm saying? With the pro-blacks. And they talking about it's no such thing as labels and all of these things are fake. And I'm like, that's not spirituality, bro. Things have labels for a reason. And it's not just so you can be in a cult, it's so that you can identify, compare, and contrast, and so that you can use these things as a tool. So I say all that to say, you know, yeah, it's these blue pill men that create the confusion. You know what I mean? That allow this confusion to go on because these women can only do what we allow them to do. And at the end of the day, that's why in the Bible, which is a controversial book, and in other places around the world that follow a good book strictly, a lot of men that practice certain behaviors, they get taken out. Because you can't even let these dudes live, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't even let them live. Because at the end of the day, if you let them live, they're going to bring down your whole movement, all your progress. When you think about black people, right? Or when you think about the red pill space, look how many people have infiltrated this space and totally changed it. Nigga, you can't even go on Kevin Samuel's show. You can't even go on his show. He talk about he represent men. You can't even go on the show. And it's like yesterday it was talking about Will Smith on his show or whatever. And I keep my eye on the devil. You know, I keep my eye on the devil. I keep my eye on people doing light work, doing God's work, but I keep my eye on the devil too. And at the end of the day, how you going how yesterday they was talking about right. Exactly. Exactly. Yesterday, um, Kevin Samuels was talking about Will Smith, right? And it's a bunch of women up there just rambling, just saying whatever. Now, Kevin Samuels was allowed in the space by men. And only thing Kevin Samuels did was give a bigger platform to women. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's the same thing that happened with the Black Panthers. They found they found a couple of dudes that'll infiltrate, that'll sell some crack, that'll destroy the neighborhood. And if you don't get rid of those guys, they're going to tear down your community. They're going to tear down everything you're trying to build. You know, I don't give no energy to the devil. You understand what I'm saying? But I do pay attention because at the end of the day, the Buddha calls it the enemy's gift. And this was something I appreciate that, bro. And this was something that Michael Jordan and the Bulls, when Phil Jackson, I actually learned about the enemy's gift from reading Phil Jackson's book 11 Rings. But this is what they said: you got 5 levels of team building, and in order to go to the highest level of team building, you need an enemy, because if you don't have an enemy, the team will start eating on itself and forget what the fuck they playing for, right? And so you seen the Bulls keep creating new enemies, right? At first, the enemy was just teams, but then they became better than every team. And so their new enemy became the media. Then their new enemy became the owners that was trying to break them up. So they used the enemy's gift to catapult them. And this is so there's some value in understanding. You understand that you need an enemy. but you still got to go to practice. You got to give energy to working on your plays, and you got to build up and work on your plan. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, like I said, Will Smith is a perfect example of why open relationships, if you decide to do it, he's the cautionary tale. He's the cautionary tale. And here's the thing about all of this alternative lifestyle stuff. I got plenty of people in my family that try open relationships and then they ended up getting a divorce. Sometimes the woman the wife would get jealous just to see her husband, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing like that. And sometimes the husband would get jealous seeing the wife. You know, I was listening to Tom Likas and he was talking about that, but it's something I experienced in real life. So you never know how these things gonna go, you know. But here's the thing: we have to stop digging a hole for ourselves. Will Smith has to stop digging a hole for himself because at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, the best way to get out of debt is to stop taking on debt. The best way to get out of a hole is to stop digging a hole. Yeah, men gotta, bro, people been calling me sir since I was 18, 19 years old. When I was running my company, I had a gentleman, he was around my same age. He was like, "You ever realize that people call you sir?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't never really think about it." You know what I mean? And it's just one of those, man, where it's just like, yeah, we got to get our respect back. And you got to just understand the value of respect because everybody that's going to respect you, you know, the number one reason why they're going to respect you, they're going to respect you because you're disciplined. That's why being disciplined is like a synonym for respect. You know what I mean? And you said we accept anything for some companionship. That's true. We will accept anything for companionship. Uh, and that's where, and that's one of those things, man, where it's like it's very with that type of thing. You know, I have a channel where I talk about spirituality. Um, yeah, man, one of the reasons why people can't go to a higher level spiritually is because they haven't learned to meditate. They haven't learned to be quiet, be still, and become a watcher of their own thoughts because they're afraid of their thoughts. But all thoughts are toxic. You understand? So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't know what to do with that, but meditation is the best way for you to learn how to be quiet and not need a companion because even when people don't have isolation, that's like one of the first things in the book called The Way of the Superior Man, right? To spend time alone. And a lot of men can't really, this is something we don't really talk about in the red pill space that's extremely vital, that time to yourself. You know, I've been traveling with my family in an RV for 3 years, right? And I'm back in the A for a second. And every day I come to the office and it's just me. And I'm just having to learn how to be with myself and how to really, you know, block out all of the toxic thoughts and things of that nature. So it's extremely valuable, man, in terms of self-mastery, in terms of being a man, because A lot of people are distracting themselves with technology. They distracting themselves with a lot of shit. You see what I'm saying? And so because they can't be with themselves, even if they don't have a companion, they swiping right on Tinder. They doing things, and really they need to be focused on what fulfills them, because needing a companion is like you lacking fulfillment. You know what I mean? So, but anywho's now, I definitely appreciate that compliment, bro. Enlightenment is a day-to-day phenomenon. So, we all climbing up that mountain on different parts of our journey or whatever. But I see you said everyone respects us besides women and blue pillars. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Man, once I got this information, it made me read the Bible different. It made me look at everything different. And I was like, damn, when I said, you know, uh when I said I was spiritual and not religious, I didn't even realize that was a part of my programming. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that was a part of my programming. I thought I was saying something enlightening. Then I go look at the Bible, and I'm looking at what it's saying in there, and they saying you are over women. I'm like, no wonder why why they said the Bible was controversial, because if you read the Bible, it's a lot of controversy. They don't want they want you to be spiritual, because if you followed the Bible, a lot of these people wouldn't be able to do what they was doing. You wouldn't have women preaching in churches. You wouldn't have women being able to run around here and have babies and then say they born again Christians again. Like, you wouldn't have all of this bullshit that you got going on if people really followed the Bible. And spirituality is not really knowledge based, it's really an experience. You know what I mean? There's a difference between talking about water and touching water, you know? And so in the information age, people are they think they know more, but they've experienced less. And is all of this information is actually making people afraid to live, you know? Um But yeah, man. So the whole thing is, I'm not perfect. You see what I'm saying? Like, when it come down to it, like, I hear all these people talking about game and approaching women and smashing chicks. Like, bro, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. But if I give you that type of message, I'm giving you destruction. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you like, yo, go out here, smash a bunch of chicks. If that's what you want to do, go see those guys that talk about game and all of that type of shit. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody going to respect you because of how many women you slept with, bro. Anybody that's going to respect you based off you talking about women that you slept with, they probably not at it at the level that you want to be at. You know what I mean? They honestly probably not at the level that you want to be at. Getting women, bro, is like easy. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? So as we go on this journey, man, you know, we just gotta really understand that if you listening to me right now, you gotta have two things that you start working on immediately. And as I talk to you, it's like I'm talking to myself. You got to have a goal and you got to have a plan, because the devil got a goal and he got a plan. And one of the biggest issues that people have is they don't even realize they digging a hole for themselves. That's like the story with the Inuit and the wolf. The Inuits put some blood on the blade, the wolf eating the blade, The wolf think he eating good and he creating lacerations in his mouth, getting ready to bleed out. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it's like when you don't have goals and plans. People continuously diverting you, you eating yourself alive. You know what I'm saying? You eating yourself alive. Let me see. Um, I did a video on this the other day, but it's crazy because I don't know. I think this is my first successful live. But check this out. Today, the news came out and they got footage of Jada Pinkett laughing, right? As Will Smith went up and slapped Chris Rock, right? I did a video about the guy in Texas who went to go see his baby mom and got murdered, you know? And everybody's just sitting around all cool, calm, and collected. Gentlemen, if you look at yourself like a king, your opinion of yourself will change. Let me explain what I mean. If the king dies in chess, the game is over. When the king is checkmated, the game is over. This is how you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself and realize once they get you, look at the statistics of families that don't have a father. Once they get you, the game is over. So the devil has to make you seem way less valuable than you actually are. So that way you will think that you are disposable when really you the most valuable piece on the board. You the one controlling everything. So when Will Smith is going up there and he's losing his cool and stuff like that, his girl is sitting back like she the king. And she got him out there moving like the queen. You know, so you gotta sit back and you gotta be thinking about shit like this. You know, he's all emotional. It's your board. It's your board. You know, he cried and she stayed calm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know, that's why I keep on my spiritual channel, I put down things like being in command position and how you position yourself in life. Because when you are presiding over things, the more powerful you become, the harder you want to be to touch. That is a sign of being powerful. When you too easy to touch, when people start being able to touch you, that means you losing power. But a lot of times that's based on your positioning and who you have around you. And a lot of times that's why most great men fall because of their woman, because that's the person that's in the closest proximity to them. And she see you every day. And because at the end of the day, because she see you every day, if whenever a woman inside of her ego, to go back to what Byron was saying earlier, a woman inside of her ego is very destructive. A woman inside of her ego is destructive because one of the biggest um one of the biggest ego boosters is destroying a strong man. That's way more of an ego booster than standing beside him. You like, nobody could touch him. But then I went in there and I broke him down. Look at what's going on with Prince Harry. Man, with this Will Smith situation, bro, I went from being like, damn, to seriously being like, it's all over. It's all over. You have too many men in powerful positions falling to the women that they in a relationship with. It's like, damn, you looking at Jada Smith, she only like fucking 4'11" and shit. It's crazy. So we got to stop digging ourselves a hole. You know, we got to stay cool and continue to move these pieces. We got to think down the road. And when we start talking about a chessboard, we got to be asking ourselves, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, they'll be like, yeah, that's what she doing right now. Every time she go on a red table talk, that's she putting his head up on the wall. Like, look at this big game I killed. And girl, they asked her about the wedding dress. She like, girl, I don't even want to see that picture no more. She like, I don't even want to like look at something I already ate and killed. They apex predators, gentlemen. They apex predators. And so this is why you need men around, because you need a homie to pull you out or to try to pull you out. But this is what I want to talk about. I did this slideshow presentation a long time ago and show the other female hunters. Exactly. That's what she do every day. And then the other female hunters come around, Byron, and they be like, God damn, girl, I want a motherfucking head too. Sonya Curry. Next thing you know, Steph Curry pops. Have you noticed, bro? Steph Curry is one of my favorite players, and I hate the fact that Steph Curry is a simp like he is. Aisha Curry just took a crazy picture the other day with her legs cocked open in a bathing suit, right? They talk about they in an open relationship. Listen, at the end of the day, Steph Curry has been looking sad, bro. He has not been playing with the same level of joy. He's just been playing. When it comes to spirituality, gentlemen, we have to understand the power of three. Three is the number of energy. Okay. We got the sun, the moon, and earth. You know, we got man, woman, child. We got right, left, middle. You understand? We got negative, positive, neutral. Negative one, one, zero. You need three in order to get energy. So at the end of the day, the litmus test for the health of human beings is our children. I love the children, but the children are suffering because the adults are selfish. And this is how you can understand the health of the society, by how we take care of the babies, you know? In this book right here, I always reference it on the show. Behold a pale horse. He says, he said, I feel sorry because the children's hearts are heavy. The children are in pain. The children are sad. And what we have to understand is that those children have to do something with that energy. Those are the ones in Chicago. You look at Pookie and Ray Ray, you get mad about Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray is a production. You know what I'm saying? Pookie and Ray Ray is Pookie and Ray Ray, not because they black, because they didn't have a mother and a father that loved them. You see, if we had mothers and fathers loving the children, we would still have Pookie and Ray Ray, but at a much smaller percentage. At a much smaller percentage. And when parents get divorced, it takes the covenant, it takes the protection from the children. And this is what, because look, you see Steph Curry, right? If Steph Curry mom left, then Aisha Curry is like, yeah, I can leave too whenever I get ready. See, there's no standard. There's no standard. And so, as men, you know, especially as red pill men, it can seem as if we have elected to not protect our women and not protect our children. But that is not the case. I have elected to protect the women and children that follow my instructions. And if they follow my instructions, they wouldn't even need protection. That's how good I am at playing chess. If they follow my instructions, they will be out of harm's way. You know, but I already knew when all of this happened, I already knew they was going to start talking about protecting black women, running that script. Meanwhile, on the flip side, they stripping them butt naked right now. Look, we just got to wisen up, gentlemen. We got to think, you know, you got to protect yourself first. And anybody that don't want to see you protect yourself first, they don't really care about you. They don't really respect you. They don't really love you. They preying on your downfall. And this is why the need for companionship is so dangerous, like Byron was saying. Yeah, they look at us all as puppets, and the ones that they can't have as puppets. Man, I was sitting there talking to my cousin. Man, they killed Fred Hampton when he was like 23, man. 23. Me and Cuz was talking today, and she was telling me about what St. Patrick's Day is really about. The TWA people, look that up. TWA people. The TWA people is really Batwa people. These people was in Ireland. You know what I'm saying? They still studying us right now. The leprechaun is originally black, just like Cleopatra, just like Madonna, you know? And so they got to keep us like puppets. That's why I love Dame Dash, because Dame Dash is always letting brothers know, like, yo, you know what we built? You know what we did? We don't need these blood suckers in the way. You know, when I was young, my cousin introduced me to the 5%ers. The 5%ers. 85% of the masses is dumb, deaf, and blind. 10% know the truth and use it to take advantage of the masses. Then you have the 5%ers, which is the poor, righteous teachers. Yeah, Dash on a mission. And the thing is, 21. What's that mean? 21. Oh, Fred Hampton was 21. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show you that the power, and once again, who did they use to undercut? Who told them where Fred Hampton was, what he was doing? A Kevin Samuels ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? We need a spook to sit by the door to come back and give us information. We don't need a spook to sit on the stoop, and run back and give all the game away. But but yeah, this knowledge and information in these experiences, bro. All my children was born natural childbirth at the house. They said this was illegal to have a midwife and have natural childbirth. Now, in Atlanta, Georgia, at Northside Hospital, the 10 percenters have the highest cesarean rate, cutting babies out the stomach. Most women can deliver a baby naturally because that's how God made us. But guess what happens? They make more money from doing C-sections because they get the turntables faster and they get money off of going through and doing a surgery. And so this is why, you know, they want to get rid of Fred Hampton. They want to get rid of the brothers that can't be puppets but have knowledge. Because then they start saying, if these black people start following their men, start listening to their men, we won't have any leverage. Man, Black Wall Street was just one place. They got this thing called the Green Book, right? The Green Book was, pardon me, I seen it on PBS. The Green Book, you should look it up. It was a travel book where black people went to exotic locations where other black people own land. It's literally everywhere, bro, where black people own land. And we was up in Maine, we was up in Vermont, we was out in California, we was in Oklahoma, and we had beautiful locations. Beautiful locations. They don't want you to know about that in Wilmington, North Carolina, in the history in Wilmington, the history in Hilton Head, the Geechee people, all the land that we owned and things of that nature that they took from us, that we worked for, right? Through many different ways. The Ku Klux Klan, the fucking, but they wouldn't be able to do that if we wasn't puppets, you see? And that's why they need a puppet. That's why they need somebody to come up there. Fred Hampton didn't have on no suit. You know what I'm saying? They was feeding the babies. Man, it's so sad to see black people not have no pride in nothing. It's so sad, bro. Because when we have pride, man, pride is something else. And we had it. And it wasn't that long ago, but we just keep getting glimpses of it. But there was a paper, this whole idea of slavery. The idea is this: in the Bible, there was something written about us being in bondage and slavery and being cursed. And that was for 400 years. And that ended in the 1980s, the 1990s. I got the document. Brothers in jail be bringing stuff home, knowledge. So with that in mind, we working back up. We building the Great Wall of China. We've been getting glimpses of who we are, our pride, and what we can do. So I think everything gonna happen in due time, but in the meantime, in between time, I'm not dying for these niggas. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going up there. Yeah, we getting flashbacks. We getting flashbacks. Because any man that I talk to that believes that we need to go on the street and march, any man that I talk to that, yes, we do, we have we have a lot of things when it comes to that. Amnesia, I would definitely say amnesia, but you know, I learned shit. I've been learning more about black people, just more and more. Like today, I learned about the Twa people, and I didn't know about them. So a lot of this stuff, man, it comes down to the fact that they don't even put it in the books. They don't even want you to know about it. And then the type of vibes that I'm on, the type of energy I'm on something that even supersede race, right? Because when you really get to a certain level in the game, you realize that when you start communicating in a certain way and other people realize that you communicating in that way, they realize that you on a whole nother level. Like if you go look at astroarchaeology, they got places in Ireland that was built by the ancestors where you can only see certain things during the solstice. You know, they got places down in Tulum, Mexico, you know, where you can only see certain things during the solstice. And these events are packed out 3-4 years ahead. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta book that. You gotta want to go 10 years before it's even available for you to go. That's how long the wait list is. You know, when you start moving in a certain type of way, and you start putting the wisdom in your craft, other people look at it and they say, oh, he was a master of the universe. And masters of the universe come in all shades. And these are the people that we really need to be linking with. But in order for us to link with masters of the universe, we have to um in order for us to link with masters of the universe, we have to become students of the universe, right? When you go to DC and you see all of this stuff and you see how DC is built and you look at just different things, you know, and every race has knowledge and wisdom, but you know, with black people, we just got to be stealthy. That's what I was going to say. If we talking about being masters of the universe, right? A big part of being a master of the universe is that you allow your knowledge of the universe to speak through your work and how you move through life, right? Because, bro, a lot of people be out here talking about sovereignty and stuff like that, right? And I start going down that rabbit hole of being sovereign, right? I started on that journey. I was like 20 years old. And I went to the courtroom for a ticket, and the judge was like, how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest. And I told the judge, I don't want to enter a plea in courts of contract. The judge said, excuse me, sir. He started spazzing on me. And he was like, I don't know who you think you are, but you have to follow the same rules as everybody else. And I was like, I don't want to enter a contract. I don't want to enter a plea in courts of contract. A lot of these courts are kangaroo courts. They're not even real courts. You know what I'm saying? But they bullies, right? They'll throw you in jail. They'll say that you in contempt of court. They'll bully you into following the rules. And that's when I realized if we're going to build something, if we're going to do something great, it's not going to be because we standing in front of a judge arguing the law. It's going to be because we move stealthy and we build ourselves up. And by the time they are ready to, you know, attack us, they don't even realize that we already got our plan. We already 10, 15, 20 steps ahead, because no master of the universe is going to respect a man who doesn't have a plan. That means you're not a master of the universe. The Great Reset been planned a long time ago. George Orwell, 1984, he wrote the book a long time ago, right? Right. Isolate as a whole, get this knowledge and wisdom and be eager to use it. And when you use it and other people start looking, you got to realize, man, that a lot of people go for baby milk. A lot of people not ready for this shit, right? A lot of people not ready for the knowledge and wisdom. Because if they was ready for the knowledge and wisdom, they would show up every day to get the knowledge and the wisdom. Or they would show up on a consistent basis to get the knowledge and wisdom. So that's why you have to be stealthy, because you have to allow people to show and prove. You have to allow people to show and prove. And if you operate like this, you should be able to deal with a woman. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to deal with a woman. But I will say though, before I learned this red pill shit, I was always good with women, but I did get caught up a couple of times. You see what I'm saying? Because I had women on a pedestal, you know. I was asking women for direction, in like little ways, right? Now, if I need direction, I have a group of men that I'll speak to about direction. But I prefer not to go to women for consultation at all. You see what I'm saying? So, anywho's, man, this is my first live, man. I love the live feedback. Byron, I definitely appreciate you holding me down, homie. Tommy, Montana, I definitely appreciate you holding me down. Everybody that came through and showed love, you know what I'm saying? This is what we doing, man. I'm gonna just start going live, because I'm really a live individual. I'm not really a pre-recorded guy. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it, just trying to build the channel. Um, but that's not really me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the dialogue. I would love for brothers to come up, you know what I'm saying, and we can build and, you know what I'm saying, push it together. Because at the end of the day, this internet ain't nothing but a tool, man. The internet ain't nothing but a tool. So we got to use this tool, and this tool allows us to link with people from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate you watching me, man. I appreciate you watching me for a minute. I know, look, traveling, look, bro, I got an iPhone now, but before I had an old ass phone doing videos. That shit was tough, man. But it's all good though. It's the journey, you know what I'm saying? Anywho's, man, look, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming, and I'm looking at improving the channel and improving the experience. And you know what I'm saying? We men amongst men over here. So, hey, y'all brothers, man, y'all be easy. Take care of yourself, and I'll see y'all mañana. Peace.